Take two as people scream at the top of their lungs for no damn reason. What is this, soccer? So anyway, this is a video response to someone using a Crookes radiometer. Okay, what is a radiometer? It's a device that responds to light and moves. It turns light directly into movement, and it's a sealed container at a very low pressure, but still has some amount of gas in it. It has black and white paddles on it, black on one side, white on the other. And when light hits it, it causes the dark side to heat up slightly. That causes the gas atoms that are left inside of this partial vacuum on that side to vibrate more. And it technically has the effect of transferring some mechanical force to one side more than the other. Only has to be a slight difference. Usually made by making a little pin and having a little glass hat for the vanes to sit on. They're done as curios. Originally, the inventor suggested that the force was due to the pressure of light, and it was literally driven by light. The trouble is that by 1901, we could create hard vacuums that people, by the way, there are people who really believe that there's no such thing as a perfect vacuum, because if you made one, it would, by ratio, be an infinite amount of pressure, when it's still just 15 psi changed. We're at 15 psi. Creating that kind of math error in your head so you don't have to acknowledge that a vacuum can occur is kind of the problem here, most likely. But I don't know. Anyway, the vanes stay motionless in a hard vacuum because it requires gases. It's the gases reacting to heat, vibrating more. There's a channel called Thunderfoot, and he shows a model of gas atoms and liquid atoms responding at 1 trillion cycles per second, modeling the atom's behavior. They're very, very active, even at ultra-low temperatures. And that's the thing. Once they get more energy, they juggle and jostle around a lot more. So I'll try to include a video of that. Anyway, Theoria Apostis, Crookes radiometer video may or may not have told you any of this. Again, I've told you exactly how this works. This is something you can find in, unfortunately, a convoluted methodology on the Wikipedia page. You can look below, and this is my assertion. Watching the first part of the video, first of all, I realized it wasn't a 2-minute and 30-second long video. It then said, I'm going to take a crap on all the things you know about science, and then goes on and on and on about how he's tired of hearing about scientists are being elitists and doing all of the dog whistles for all of you out there who don't like the fact that you can fail math classes, and you can fail science classes, and you can fail EMT classes. You don't get a participation trophy. That's what it sounds like. I couldn't sit through it because he spends the entire time trying to push away anybody who's waiting for him to get a point. If he got to the point, it would have been less than 3-minute video that it is now in my video. All he had to do is explain why the explanation that was given is wrong. Not sit there and pontificate about how awesome he is that he was able to figure out that he isn't stupid and everybody else is wrong that tested this. The simple test was create a hard vacuum and see if the damn thing works. It should technically work because there is actually a definitive amount of energy imparted from light striking an object like that. And it's an incredibly tiny amount, but it should, over a long period of time, or with an extremely efficient non-resistive surface, like in the dead of space, with no gravity, or with a really high brightness light, somehow aimed very, very precisely, like a laser, obviously it should move in a vacuum. I would assume that, because it would ablate the material and create propulsion or whatever. But the fact is that he never got to the point. Someone even commented below that basically spent the entire time trying to drive away anybody that would critically analyze the video by him not getting to the point in less than 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Do I have to keep... I mean, now I can just say he's a big poo-poo head and he's got a bald head and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't have anything to do with the subject matter. And yes, they've done experiments where they just made all the paddles black, both sides. But you just had to point the light at one edge or another. You can make it go in reverse. They couldn't make it go the wrong direction when they hit all of them equally. This has also been done with surfaces that are all the same color, but one has more surface area than the other by having a convex or concave surface. One side creates more of a reaction, and as long as there is a gas, it keeps working. I'm sure there's a vacuum chamber version of it where it's a hard vacuum and they hit it with a lot of bright light. But the idea that this is somehow going to break the rules of physics by someone ignoring the explanation that, while it is convoluted, it is actually in the Wikipedia page, including my direct quotes here. At the 5-minute mark, I hope I haven't wasted as much time as he did. And again, quote unquote, I'm going to come here and take a shit on all science and then not get to the damn point of your thesis. I did a little bit better job. Now I'm going to watch the video, I'm going to trudge through it, and I want you to as well if you want to, but I'm going to put at the top of this video whether I found out I was wrong about what he was doing or not. Because this is stereotypical of people who deny that vacuums can occur, because by ratio, it's infinitely more of a vacuum than you have in a thermometer.